Hi, in this video I'm just going to be discussing about how to effectively use automation in your trading. There is this misconception that once you get automation into your trading, then it's hands off, and then you've got this thing installed on your MT4 platform, and then it just takes trades for you, and you just go and rest, put your feet up, and then it is not true. I've got to say this at the start. First of all, for me, I do not like some of the terminologies used about automation in the marketplace. For instance, robots, and I probably have that. Don't like that because of how it's been misused and misunderstood. And so you hear people talk about robots, use this robot there, use this robot there, use this robot to do it's not, doesn't work that way. And just for full disclosure, I write my own automated systems as well. So I do the writing myself. I don't buy anybody's own, as it were. And since 2013, I have been trading automation. Over 98% of my trade entries are done by automation. Now, exiting, I do a lot of exiting manually, but still about 70% of my exits are also done by automation. So I use automation, but I know as well that it's been abused in the market so much, and people have the wrong impression or the wrong approach to the use of automation. And you'll notice I don't call it robots. I just don't like it. I just say automation or expert advisors, which is what the MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5 platforms will call it, expert advisors, or automation. And so what's the difference between expert advisors and indicators? We know, most people will know already, that indicators just barely indicate, from the name, indicate. So they take price parameters, and then depending on what the logic behind the parameters and what you're trying to monitor, it then displays on the chart in the form of lines, in the form of histograms, in the form of text, in the form of objects, various things. Indicators will do that. But also, when you come to expert advisors now have to engage in executing trade, or it's called trade executions, and trade parameters. So anything from executing buy trades, sell trades, pending orders, calculating lot sizes, things like that, partial closing, setting take profits, stop losses, trailing stop losses, and various things like that have to do with the actual trade execution. That's what EAs will do, expert advisors with the automation will do. And so that's a general overview of automation. Now, I've got a couple of points to raise about how to effectively use automation for profiting. And the first thing I'll have to say is that EAs or automation will never be a replacement or an alternative to trading skills. It doesn't, and I'll tell you why. Especially in the retail sector, so everyday individual trader in the market, the EAs or the automation that is made available in the market, it is not necessarily a set and forget system. You can't set and forget and never look at the trading system. It just doesn't work, and because for you to create something that is truly set and forget, it will require, will be very expensive, that can be affordable by every retail trader. Because right now, the retail traders pay anything from a few $100s to probably maximum $10,000 for an automated system. That kind of system will never, I keep saying this over and over, will never be a replacement to trading skills. Now, if you're talking about institutions that have to invest several hundreds of thousands of dollars or several millions of dollars on programmers, on not just programmers, the price data, the infrastructure that runs the trading system. Then you might be able to get to a place where you just press button, put your leg up, or feet up, and then just forget, set and forget. But for everyday traders, you won't get that. Now, so it's never an alternative. But why do I use them? I use automation because some of the systems I trade will require that I am always constantly in front of my computer. And I don't do that. I just can't do that. And so I don't want to be 24/7 in front of my computer, just pulling my hair out. And you know that in trading, if you've been trading a while, you do more of waiting than actually executing. And so I don't want to spend all my time just waiting and watching and waiting. No, that's not what you want to do. That's what automation does for me. So automation does all the monitoring, all the waiting until all the logic, all the setting parameters are all met, and then the automation kicks in. So that's the beauty of automation. However, if you do not understand the principles behind why the automation or the EA executes trades, you could and most likely still lose money. Whereas the person that wrote the program or the people that understand the principles behind it are making some insane profits from the same automation. So it is key that you first of all understand the principles of trading in general, then the principles behind the automation you want to use. Failure to do that, not very good for people's accounts. So bear that in mind. And my second point is that I treat my automation, my EAs, as trade assistants. Just like I said earlier, they just work for me. The EAs work for me, and I have to then, for like in any corporate situation or organizational situation, when you have your assistants, they have tasks to perform. It is your responsibility. You're fully accountable to that department, and you're fully responsible for the outcomes of what your assistants do. It's the same thing with the EAs. So I am ultimately accountable and responsible for my trades and the outcome of my account. But I use automation. So when they're doing what they need to do, I also have to monitor them. I don't have to be there doing their work, micromanaging them. But I am responsible. So treat automation as trade assistants. And don't forget, there is no trading system that is 100% fail-proof. So there are times when price doesn't do what you think or expect it to do, or the way you will expect price. The probability, because it's all about probabilities here. Automation helps increase the probability of success, but probability means it's never 100%. So because it's never 100%, you have to be responsible and make sure you're watching your account, even if you have automation in it. And like I said earlier, since 2013, I've been 98% gone automation on my trading. So you should use it, but you need to know how to use it effectively. And then probably the smallest thing, or the last thing I've got to say, is then that you've got to start small. Don't get into this thinking that because I'm using automation now, so I can increase my risk. Initially, no. Once you're still trying to understudy the system, you've got to start small. Then once you get an understanding of what the system does or should be doing, then you can start to scale. So start small, practice, then scale. That's so. Even if you're trading manually, that's also a very good approach to use. Start small, practice, and then scale, as it were. So please bear in mind that's you've got to consider these things whilst you're using automation. So do not think that using automation is 100% just hands-free, set and leave. No, don't do that to yourself. Set the EAs to do what they should do, but you're ultimately responsible. So make sure you're checking things out, you understand what they should be doing, so that when price is moving and doing what it does, that your capital is protected, as it were. All right. I hope this is clear, not confusing. I'm just trying to make this absolutely clear, so that the approach is more disciplined, and you will do well in the marketplace. All right. Until next time, you take care. Any questions at all, you know how to get us at admin@5talentstrader.com. All right. You take care. Cheers.